In this lesson, we're going to discover how to find the length of an arc. In previous lessons, we learned how to find the measure of an arc in degrees, and now we're going to find its length using the degree of it and the radius of that circle it's on. It's important to note that the measure of an arc is a fraction of 360. There are 360 degrees in a circle, so therefore the arc is basically a fraction of that 360. The arc length is a fraction of the circumference. The length is a piece of the circle. The distance around the circle is the circumference. So because these essentially mean the same, we can set up two fractions. The measure of the arc over 360 and the arc length over the circumference. We're going to use L to represent the arc length, R to represent radius, and X to represent measure. To know what arc length equals, we simply get the L by itself by multiplying both sides by C. That gives us the degree divided by 360 times circumference is our arc length. Let's look at an example. In this question, we're going to find the length of arc AD, and we're going to express the answer in terms of pi. So they're giving us the radius is 4 and 3 parts of the circle, 73 degrees, 43 degrees, and 104 degrees. Now because we're trying to find the measure of arc AD first, because we need to know the degree first before we can find the length of the arc, we're simply going to take 360 and subtract what we do know. What's left is that little piece that we do not have, 140 degrees. Then we set up our formula. I still don't know what circumference is, so I'm going to go ahead and solve for that. My circumference is 8 pi, so I'm going to plug in my x, which is 140, and my c, which is 8 pi. Doing this, when I put in my calculator, I'm going to do 140 times 8 divided by 360. When you simplify that, you're going to get 28 over 9 times pi. Remember, I'm going to leave it in pi. Let's look at one more example problem. In this problem, it's important to note that they're telling you that the angle ZRW is 55, the angle of WRX is 169, and the angle of XRY is 47. Remember, those are central angles, so the arc lengths are the exact same. In this case, they want to know what is the length of arc X, Y, Z, so that red arc that I drew for you. The radius of this circle is going to be 9. So the first thing is we have to know what the measure of arc XYZ is. We know the total is 360. The pieces I have, if I subtract them all, I would end up with the ZY. So in this case, I only subtract 55 and 169 because I need the XRY and the YRZ to find out that my degree is 136. I went ahead and I solved for the circumference and I got 18 pi. Plugging it into my formula, I have my x now, which is 136 divided by 360, and I'm going to times it by 18 pi. When I do this, I do 136 times 18 divided by 360 and I simplify it. That gives me 34 over 5 times pi.